I tend to shit on a lot of things, mostly for comedic effect rather than having strong arguments, but today I want to have a productive conversation. Now, I'm fortunate enough to have a few friends that play this game, some more than others, and under those circumstances, it's a fun time, and we don't really take the game too seriously. However, that's not the case for everyone, and for those people, I feel bad. I think so far this season thrives heavily in the innovation department and the map changes. We have 6 biomes now. That is like the most we've ever had. That is wholesome. I love Nitrodrome. That is one of the coolest places they've added this chapter, genuinely. Like, I was driving around in there and then they started playing that one song from Shrek when he was fighting all the knights, and I was like, shit, this is pretty awesome. And then they brought back my girl the combat shotgun, even though she's not in her prime like in season 9. It's still nice to see her around. I love that the season encourages you to be aggressive and to dig your heels into fights, because I hate when people are cowards and hide in bushes and shit like rats. And on paper, this season would remedy that, right? Remember when I said that season 2 was controversial and divisive? Well, I was actually a lying piece of shit when I said that, because I am betting that this is gonna go down as one of the most controversial seasons of all time. You have one side of the community that thinks that this is peak, and the other side that will probably end up not liking it due to the shift in balance in cars. I'm not gonna be a fence rider and give out a nothing burger. I do have a stance that I'll touch on in a sec, but I wanna make this clear. When Epic Games playtest their seasons or updates, they probably use these features in a different way than players will, because what they probably don't do is abuse said features. If people can find a way to cheese a kill or even win a game, they're gonna use that as much as they can, and who can blame them? Why loot up, grab shields, farm materials, and waste all of that time when you can just win by using a car? Now look, don't get me wrong, I love car humor as much as the next person, and a lot of this shit is unironically funny, and fitting the battle bus in tight spaces is on my season 3 bucket list. But removing the fun factor really quick, can you really confidently say that people are unjustified when they don't like the season's gameplay so far? The pros that are upset are justified. I cannot believe I just said that, because they are the ones that put in all this time in the game to master the game, who've made this game their careers, and without them or any competitive drive, this game wouldn't have cash cups, it wouldn't have FNCS, and it wouldn't have the World Cup, and probably ranked in general. I've made jabs towards pro players before. I hate the culture surrounding the pro scene. It's very hype beasty. The superhero skin assholes are the bane of my existence. But if a season is made, in quote, to be a middle finger to them, that's kind of crazy. And the argument of they just need to adapt to the meta. Adapt? That's pretty funny considering that the pro players can say the same thing about zero build players for not adapting to the building meta over the past 6 years, and are forced to be given a zero build playlist. I need to make it clear, I am as casual as you can get. I hardly play ranked, I don't play any cups, and I mainly play duos and squads. And to see this type of hostility towards another section of the community just because they want a balanced game is kinda ludicrous. My problem isn't the people who defend the cars, my problem lies within the fact that people aren't willing to have a conversation, and this goes for both sides. And the fact that it's super black and white. If you dislike some parts of the season, then automatically you're called a sweaty ass comp player who hates fun, and if you like the cars, you're called a 3-year-old baba baby with a binky in its mouth who likes to blow shit up with cars. Like, I think the season's fun, I played with my duo and it's genuinely really fun, but at the same time it's like, yeah, this is so f***ing broken. Something that I've noticed is that when people show themselves getting outplayed, they are normally greeted with people that put on their monocles and start dumping their shoulda woulda couldas. That is the rebuttal every time. There's never a single ounce of, yeah, okay, he couldn't really do anything. Like, Cypher posted a clip of him getting outskilled, right? And someone was in so much denial that Cypher had to respond and say that his death was from the car, not this crazy ass scenario that this guy made himself believe.
Even though EMPs in every single season stops turrets. EMPs are supposed to stop the fucking turret.
You can have an opinion on what should happen in competitive, that's fine, that's your opinion, but to think that you are in a position to know what's best and how these pro players should play, that is crazy. When the casuals are happy with their loot pool and the pros are happy with their loot pool, that makes for a healthy season. You can't just outright reject a side of the community, instead of saying, oh, you don't like fun, anti-fun. Just because people have criticisms towards a season doesn't mean that they don't want fun mechanics in the game. To the people chanting skill issue, is it really a skill issue? Who has a skill issue? The person who actually wants to have a gunfight, or the person who's mindlessly driving themselves into the builds? I'm not trying to make this a gotcha moment at all. I just want people to take this into consideration before they yell skill issue. Like, look at yourself. We don't have to agree on this. If you like this season, that's totally fine. I'm not trying to take that away from you, but I love this game, and I can't ethically say that I like where this is going as of now, when I know that this is how I feel. And we can have a conversation about it in the comments. That is all I want you to take away from this, is have a conversation. Stop using buzzwords. Stop surrounding yourself with yes men. Dig deep. So if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna adapt. But before I do, look at this quote from Ninja.
I'm not getting used to it because I don't want to, man. But if you're gonna f***ing leave it, then I'll use it. I'll f***ing sell my soul.